And welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you have found or have secured some delicious snacks and have stretched all of your appropriate appendages.
I'm eating cookies for dinner.
Ooh,
I'm proud of
nice.
you, and I'm jealous.
Great.
I love that the way you just announced that.
I would love cookies
He
for
was
dinner.
talking about appropriate snacks. I got the appropriate snacks.
Yeah.
We went to, on the way home from a thing we were at, we went to Crumble Cookie and got 4 cookies.
Oh.
And so I cut little triangles out of each cookie. And that's what I'm eating for dinner. So
Nice. A little cookie flight.
oh yeah. Yo, yes, a cookie flight. Mm-hmm.
Write that
Oh,
down.
cookies now.
I don't know who I'm pointing to, but
Apparently-
you write it down.
Well, apparently it's a thing in Seattle. There's a wine place that you get a flight of wine and then you can pair cookies with it, and then you get a cookie flight that pairs with your wine flight. Apparently, I don't know what it's called, but
I love dessert wines.
I saw
I used
pics.
to anyway. Anyway, so where we left off, you all were heading back to the Widget Well to turn in for the evening, and Ron was keeping a watchful eye over Valken as he meditated, and Bryn was in the process of creating an alarm spell on the doorway into Valken's room. So, as we make your way back into the hotel, Ron, you have taken the potion to stay awake all night.
Yes.
And were you intending on feeding any of that food to Mimi?
Yes. A lot
What
of
do
it.
you give her?
I give her the spicy fish.
Just
Assortment of stuff.
yeah. So it seems that the spiciness level does not affect Mimi one bit, as Mimi is changed into her sort of jewelry box form because she thinks that you like that the best, since you taught it to her. The sort of hinges open up almost cartoon-like, where just the hinges go farther than the hinge should on a small jewelry box, and it just devours this fish whole.
Ooh,
It looks
Mimi's
back up to
hungry.
you. More?
How about some ale?
And the hinge just opens,
Or a little bit.
and you see his little look goes in, and then you just hear and just like spits it across the room.
Oh,
That's
okay.
amazing.
So no ale.
Are we
Maybe
all in
just
the room, or is
looks
it
at you
just
and
Ron
just
and
shrieks,
Mimi?
Oh, sorry.
Just
Here's some more.
We're in the girls' room.
Whatever.
Everyone hears this in the hotel. It
Even in our
resonates. It resonates across this upstairs floor.
I open the door and like peep in the hallway to see what's happening, and then close it, and then shrug at Bryn. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, my alarm spell did not go off, so it's just fine.
And you hear footsteps up the stairs. And nothing for a moment. Is everything all right up here?
Oh, yep, everything's fine. Ron fell out of bed.
Make a deception check.
Okay. Okay. +3. No, 4. That one.
You fell out of. You mind if I come check on the bed to see if everything's in order?
Oh yeah, yes. Ron minds. Ron is naked. But Ron
Make
is
another deception
Falcon.
check.
When Ron says that, Valken, one eye opens up out of this trance, like, really? Really? You're watching me naked right now? Yeah.
Okay, 20 deception.
20?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, all right. I'll just wait till you get dressed.
No, everything's fine. It'll take a long time for Ron to get dressed.
Do we hear this in the hallway?
Is everyone else all right in there? She just sort of like yells out towards your room.
I'm gonna open our door and poke my head and be like, "Excuse me, please leave them alone. They need quiet time. They are preparing for a tournament tomorrow."
Well, I'm sorry, but I had someone screaming bloody murder in my inn. I have to check on
That is how they train. It isn't quite normal. I will tell them keep it down.
And I start going, ah, in the background.
She looks at you, Bryn, and it's just like looks at Vin as you're just like screaming in the middle of the
no
room.
more training before bed. And I wink at Vin as I turn my
Oh,
head back in.
sorry. I'll be more quiet.
We'll keep it down. Promise.
She looks at you. Who else is in that room with your friend again?
Oh, it is just two friends, the big tall one and the skinny fast one.
Skinny fast one, are you all right in there?
Am I? Is this at the time I'm still in my trance, or
You can
are we-
hear in your trance, right?
Yeah, you could talk.
Yeah. I didn't know if I was like in full like another world focus
You can
mode.
talk. You just can't do anything that takes focus away, right?
Yeah, I'll just be like, we're fine.
See, all is fine. I really don't want her to set off my alarm spell because I don't want to have to cast it again. So I'm like trying to usher her back down the hallway.
She's like, all right. All right, no more training for the evening, and like looks at
Yes, ma'am.
you. And, like,
Understood.
looks at,
Understood.
No more
I will
training,
make
all
sure.
right? No more yelling. Just keep it
Sorry.
down. She makes her way back down the stairs.
Oh, it was close. I'll go back in my room. I don't know what the noise was, but they seem to be fine, so I'm like, whatever.
Ron just gives Mimi more food to keep her quiet.
Maybe he growls at you.
Okay, Ron, apologize, Mimi. You will not have bad stuff anymore, but only good stuff.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh, jeez. 15.
She like growls at you like a little, like as you bring the food closer, and then she eats it anyway, and then seems content.
Ooh. Okay. Note to Ron: do not give Mimi any alcohol. Bye back in.
It's fine.
And Ron's not naked. You know, Ron is on watch, so. Ron just said he was naked.
Uh-huh. Okay. It's it's fine. I'm gonna continue doing my thing now.
Okay, Ron will continue to watch you.
So to clarify, like when you're trancing or meditating, like you're in like a semi-conscious state. So like you can kind of dream if you want to. You can just sit there and meditate, but you are like aware of your surroundings. Pseudo consciousness.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure. In my mind, I was thinking like I'm in some crazy focus zone that I don't
Up to you.
respond. Yeah.
You could choose not to respond. No one would know any difference.
All right.
All right. So, as the evening grows late, slowly gets into the wee hours of the morning, and then back to the morning. Seemingly, Ron, as you have kept watch all night, you have seen nothing out of the ordinary at the inn. Bryn, your alarm spell lasts for its entirety and then dissipates.
Better safe than sorry. It is good.
Wow, this potion works great. Ron did not sleep a wink, but feel good.
I'll knock on their door. You all ready for breakfast?
Yes.
You have to eat. Tournament today.
Be right out.
I'm hungry. Let's go.
So you can grab some breakfast there in the inn through the automated food delivery system if you'd like, or you can try and find
we
something
do it
else, some local
down
cuisine.
in the like.
You just pull
downstairs
a
area?
lever in your room, or you can do it
Yeah,
at
but
in
that's
the
not
inn.
social.
Yeah. You can
That's
do that down
kinda-
there. You can find a nice vegetarian breakfast for the morning, as what this place seems to typically offer, as well as most of the city does. Rare occasions there is some meat, but you finish your breakfast. You're joined by Emma and the students. They are all sort of wearing their, for lack of a better way to put it, they're like their fancy gis, right? The really nice ones that they don't train in, that they keep for occasions like this. Pretty much like what you usually wear, Balkan, with the nice like bright colors and such that represent the school. It's like, all right, everyone. This morning we will be having the movement in form event. Roly, that will be your event. Valken, of course, you will be paired with Bathalia for the weapons event tomorrow evening.
Okay.
And then
Oh, so
Yexim-
Valkan's not doing anything today?
Yexim will be part of the strength and technique, of course. RLL will be doing the hand-to-hand, and then Merrick was our alternate in case anything goes awry. Well, are we ready to get started?
Oh yeah.
Should
Wait,
be
the
starting
Valken,
in,
Do
in
you
30
have
minutes or so.
fancy outfit like your students? No, your students, they have a special outfit for a tournament. You have the same?
Did you say it was like mine?
Yeah, that's kind of like it's the colors are similar, like really vibrant colors, like what you usually wear. So they look like what you're wearing, kind of.
Valkan
Yeah,
is just
so-
always fancy.
This is yeah, pretty much it.
Okay.
I mean, mine's a little bit cooler. But
Battle worn from punching
Yeah, we're
dragons
looking
and,
at him.
and jumping sharks
It's like
and tables. So you all start to make your way down to the tournament, down at the guild's level, and where you were shown, like where the arena was, where there was the combat. This is not where this takes place. You were back sort of in the main courtyard where this permanent sort of stage is set up on the side, and the area is sort of like cordoned off with some barricades around, and there's quite a large crowd just sort of around this area. And you see Zunde has stepped onto the stage as sort of the guild chair has done the introductions and all the easy stuff, and then he's kind of done his sort of political duties, and Zunde is sort of announcing things for the tournament. As you all know, that we are starting now the movement and form part of the event. There will be one representative from each school performing today. They'll be performing a rehearsed routine. They'll be judged on the preciseness of their movements and the general martial arts forms. And so basically, for you, the players, think of this sort of, the easiest way I could put it is like in the Olympics. This is like, you have like the free form, like open area, like where gymnasts will like do like their open routine, or martial arts even, I think, do it in the Olympics as well. You have just like a set routine that they're doing, that they are sort of prescribed for their sort of form that they use from their dojo, and then they're being judged on that. And importantly, the tournament is officially begun. So the way that this works is that each event is scored based on rankings of 1st through 5th. So different events have different scoring. So movement and form, strength and technique, 1st place 5 points, 2nd place 4, 3rd 3, 4th 2, 5th 1. It kind of goes backwards. So the two events today were same amount of points, and whoever sort of wins the event, whoever's highest judge, gets the most points. The next day it's a little different. The sort of combat events are worth more points in general. So hand to hand, first place is 7 points. Second place is 5 points. Third place is 3 points. Fourth is 2. Fifth is 1. And then of course weapons is the most points out of all of them. The most important event, where first place gets 8 points. Second is 6. Third's 4. Fourth is 3. And fifth is 2. So what I will be doing here is, for the events, I'll be choosing some of you all to do some of these roles for the school, or these schools, to help me determine who actually wins said events. So that way it is all up to chance and based on how well you roll, and not me just making stuff up, because that's more fun.
All right.
Also, if there is anything that you would like to do during this tournament, or if there's anything that you would like to go investigate, or if there's any bets you would like to place or anything like that, feel free to let me know.
Oh, Ron will be placing bets, all right.
Gotcha.
Is there like a stats page, like baseball or something?
Stats page, I'm glad
like
that you asked.
horses?
So if you look at the stream, you can see the martial arts tournament and the current scores associated with the schools.
Ooh.
Everyone currently has 0 points right now, and it will be updated.
Oh, Papyrus! Let's go!
I'm glad you noticed.
Is there like past stats though? So like as we place bets, we can like make educated decisions, or is it like we have no idea who's like good and who's not good?
Well, each student is going to be performing in one event. So you can kind of judge based on how well the school does, but the students don't do more than one event. So that's kind of how that part works. With the movement and form and strength and technique, it is all sort of, it's one, they have one routine, they do it for movement and form, and then that's it, right? When it comes to hand and the weapons, there's like a full bracket that sort of happens, and we'll get into that a little later and how that works.
Okay.
But for now, we will start with the movement and form portion of the tournament here, and it's going to be a skill challenge. So would anyone like to volunteer to be a little Rolly for the Shoya Lake Academy and roll some dice for
Rolly?
them?
That was his name. I thought I misheard earlier.
No, it's Rolly, Rolee.
Ron
Do
shall
it.
be
I'll be a little Rolly.
Oh,
Oh wait, did you want to do it? You no, you go.
There's many
you go.
opportunities. There's many opportunities. Go ahead.
I didn't want Rolly to feel like the last pick to Jim, so. All right, Rolly, let's do this.
All right, Bryn, so you're going to be Rolly, and what I'm going to ask you to do are to make a series of checks for me, and it will be acrobatics, performance, and perception. It will be based on what they are doing here.
Okay. Now it needs stats. You'll do that part. I'm just rolling, right?
You can choose. You're going to be making 5 total rolls,
Okay.
and you can choose whichever skill you want to use.
Can you list them one more time?
Acrobatics, performance, perception. A little about Rolly. Little clumsy, very boisterous, sort of a young student, to give you some little indication. I don't want to get into stats because we have a whole bunch of kids, like students, participating, and it doesn't really matter too much anyway. So with that being said, you're going to make 5 rolls, which means that you're going to have to pick 2 of them to roll twice. And as you're rolling, I would like you to describe Rolly's routine and what it looks like.
Wait, what is he doing? Wait. I didn't realize I was playing Rolly until I was playing Rolly. So what is this
You
part
didn't
of the
realize you were playing
competition?
Rolly until you volunteered to play Rolly.
Yeah, Rolly overslept. What's going on?
So this is the movement and form event where you are
Movement
basically
and form.
yes.
So I'm
think
doing
of it like think of it like the floor
Tai Chi
exercises.
stuff.
Yeah, floor exercises in like gymnastics or like the Tai Chi type stuff, or like the form and movement like at martial arts tournaments, where it's all about like how well you know the technique, how difficult your technique that you're performing is, that kind of stuff. So you can make it up all you want, and you can also let your roles inform how well Rolly does as well, if you'd like to play it that way. So,
well, first he's gonna do a perception to like center himself, and just like he woke up late, right? So he's just like, whoa, here's where I am. That was a 9.
A 9. Okay. That is a failure. So describe to me when Rolly is trying to center himself and get ready for the routine. What happens with him?
He kind of like tries to do like a little center, like balance on one leg to kind of like center, and then he kind of like teeters a little. He's Rolly.
Okay. So the first one, that is a failure here. And then
now what?
Yeah, you're gonna do 4 more, and you're gonna describe what's going on. So
okay, but then he's gonna recover and just like try to jump right into his routine. So we're gonna do some acrobatics.
Okay.
It's a 2. Sorry,
Rolly is sort of a clumsy student, as I had mentioned, so that 2 does not bode too well for Rolly here. So
falls over
he
on
has
his
centered
face.
himself and has sort of stumbled a bit, and then tries
he tried too fast to go right into it, should have recentered.
Yeah, so what does this look like? Is he just fall on his face?
Yeah, he's like starting to teeter, and he's like, okay, I just gotta go for it. And he starts to just like go into the routine, but he really should have just like waited till he was centered, because he just kind of like does like a kick and falls over backwards.
Gotcha. And poor Rolly does the kick.
How old is he?
And he is one of the younger ones, so he's like 14 or so.
Wait, what's his race again?
Rolly is a small, just human child.
He looks like Dustin from Stranger Things officially.
Okay. So he does like a nice side kick to be acrobatic and nails the kick. It looks great until he loses his balance and falls onto his
So he
back.
has that like excited face, like, yeah, whoa.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. And your third roll, acrobatics, performance, or perception, you can only do each. The maximum is, well, I guess you could do maximum twice of each. So that makes sense.
I roll first and then decide.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he's gonna do a little performance, and I rolled a 10. So he's gonna do something that's not really difficult, but he's just gonna try to like kind of bring the crowd back to his side.
Okay, so where the first 2 had failed, the performance is a success, where Rolly is carried by his sort of natural charisma, being sort of a boisterous
Rolly.
child. And what does it look like? What does he do to kind of win the crowd back here?
He sort of does like one of these like fast moving kind of things that just like, it's not really hard. There's no risk of him falling over this time, but it looks really cool.
All right.
And he winks at like somebody. He'll wink at Vin.
I blow a kiss.
Oh man, okay. Rolly's gotta do better now.
Yeah. Your
How old
fourth
is Rolly?
roll. What's that?
How old is Rolly?
It's like 14.
Not in a weird way.
Perfect. Okay.
What are you rolling for this time?
I don't know. Can I roll first?
Well, tell me
Or
which
no?
skill you're rolling for first.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
I'm gonna do another acrobatics, I think.
Okay.
someone in the misty air of D&D had suggested that a kiss is worth inspiration.
Yeah, am I inspired because she blew
I'll
me a
allow
kiss?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, chat. Okay.
I'll allow it. Yeah. Rolly is inspired.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The acrobatics was 17.
Okay, so even though Rolly is quite a clumsy student, he's able to still pull off this acrobatic maneuver, which is what?
Oh, he wings, and then she actually blows against back, which he was like not expecting. And he's like, and then he falls back like he's gonna fall, but it turns into a full like somersault backflip.
All right. Yep. So it looks Like he's gonna fall and last second somersault backflip straight back up.
Like he clearly did the fall intentional to make it look cool.
Yeah, and that is a success. The fifth roll will determine. He's got 2 failures and 2 successes here, so each success gains him higher in the rankings here.
Okay. I want to do another performance because I know he's good at it.
Okay.
He did a really cool somersault kick. All he needs to do is like finish with some really cool like maneuvers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10.
A 10 will carry Rolly.
Okay.
And what does this look like for his final
He's
maneuver?
just doing like, they're not really as hard. It's because one foot's never leaving the ground, right? He's just making it look really cool. Where he's doing like kind of like things, but it's like one foot's technically always on the ground.
Can you describe what things are?
I don't know how to explain. Like he's doing like a foot and then spinning and then a foot and then spinning kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he's never technically leaving the ground. There's no risk of him falling over this time.
Yeah, and it
just
performs
looks
it
cool.
perfectly. And then at the end, the crowd cheers and claps for
He ends with like a really cool like thing.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know anything about martial arts, you guys. I'm doing my best.
That's
yeah,
perfect.
like a tornado kick kind of thing, but not like. But he's not actually. He's just making it look cooler than it actually is.
Yeah, awesome. Little Rolly does a great job in recovering from his spill early on. And we'll see how he places compared to how the rest of the kids do. Up next is going to be Eamon from the Temple of the Crystal Rose. And surprise, you're rolling for everybody. So who wants to be Eamon from our group?
Wait, Crystal Rose, are they good guys or who are they?
There's Zunde's group.
Dragon lady.
Yeah, I'll roll for her. I feel connected to the dragon.
Eamon is a sort of like 16, 17 year old elf young woman. And she is not super charismatic. However, she is very acrobatic, very good with balance, and is very aware of sort of her surroundings. So similar to what Bryn had just rolled for Rolly, you'll be doing the same for Eamon. There are 5 rolls. You can choose acrobatics, performance, or perception. You can only choose one a maximum of 2 times. So you're rolling them all at least once. That makes sense.
Can you say them again? I'm going to write them down so I remember.
Acrobatics, performance, perception. Now I'm gonna
No
put
pressure, but
our chat.
roll pretty badly, so my school wins.
I mean, Vin has 0 alliance to anybody, if you haven't noticed.
All right, and just like what just like earlier, you're going to be describing what the routine looks like as well, depending on how you roll. So
Okay.
all right, first roll, what do you choose?
Do I know what I'm doing?
You?
Yeah, like
Or
what is she trying to do?
whatever you want. You can make it up as you go. You can pick a skill, roll for it, and depending on if you succeed or fail, tell me how awesome it looks or how awful it looks.
Well, I guess how do I word this? Like, what is the competition style? Like, what is she doing?
Yeah, it's the movement and form where they're judged on like their precise movement and like their technical ability for like the martial arts. So it's like a floor routine. It's not like a spar or anything. Yeah, they're like going through all the movements, kind of like I'm trying to find a way to just describe it, and I obviously don't know a lot about martial arts, so please forgive me for those of you that do know a lot about it, or please help me. But that's kind of what they're doing. They're doing their routine to kind of go through the motions of sort of the different movements related to the martial arts from their school.
Okay. Yeah, I watched the new Cobra Kai, so
There you go. Yeah.
I got you,
Perfect.
fam. Okay. Her first move is gonna be like 3 backflips into like a kick.
Yeah.
Dealio. And it'll be acrobatics.
For that. Yeah.
I'm gonna roll And do I get to add anything or no? Is it just straight rolls?
I'm just gonna tell you what it is because
Okay.
I don't know if y'all care about all their stats because you're gonna be rolling them for once.
Oh, sure. Okay, so the D20 dice roll is a 12.
A 12, that is success. She is quite dexterous. And right out of the gate, so unlike poor Rolly, who had a couple of missteps in the beginning, Eamon comes out swinging and does what you would describe a triple backflip into a kick and just nails it, and landing it, and everyone just kind of just gasps at just how precise it was. So 1 success.
And then she's going to kind of like walk and like drag the front bottoms, the front topsies of her like toes, on the floor. Kind of like a dancer, I guess, would. And then do a cartwheel into like a punch.
Yeah.
And that'll be performance.
Okay, go for it.
That is a 10 on the dice.
A 10. So, as described, Eamon is not quite as sort of charismatic as Rolly, so a 10 does not succeed. How does she fail in this movement?
What did I say? She was doing cartwheels.
Mm-hmm.
So as she was dragging her toes, she got a little rug burn, and so when she went to do the cartwheel, she landed on the toe that was like a little tender, and it was kind of sloppy. And then her like punch just didn't really work out because she was thrown off her game.
Yeah, she's off balance from that and just kind of punches, and it doesn't look very good. So a failure. So 1 and 1 here. Roll your third one.
Then, knowing that she is, whatchamacallit, like one more try, she's gonna go for acrobatics.
Mm-hmm.
And, do a running, front flip, cartwheel, and then like a kick punch.
Go for it.
And can I use my own inspiration? Is that
If you
allowed?
want. Sure.
Go for 2 dice. Hold on. Something just played. Okay, there we go. 18.
That is definitely a success. Nails it. Back to form what she started in the beginning of the routine. Executed flawlessly. And then with that, the crowd's sort of back on her side, and it's like cheering as the routine goes on. Next roll, your fourth one. So you can no longer use acrobatics anymore.
Okay.
I don't believe you've used perception at all. So perception has 2 more, and performance is 1 more you could use.
Okay. So, for perception, she's going to kind of like scan the floor with her eyes, and then do like a look, and then go into like a somersault on the floor, and then she's going to like somersault, but then like weirdly land on like both of her hind legs, like a squat almost. You're like, how does the body do that? But she was looking at the floor, so she knew. I don't know.
Yeah, go for it. Sounds awesome.
It is. Oh my gosh, a nat 20. Let's go.
Perfect. So nailed perfectly in sort of this almost unorthodox maneuver. And what's more impressive about it with kind of the perception is she was right up against sort of the out of bounds marker for this sort of area and just nails it like right on the edge with such precision that would be almost impossible to do unless you knew exactly where you were in your surroundings. So another success, and last roll.
She's gonna do perception again. And she's going to I don't know, like perception-y things. I guess like she's gonna do like a punch and then like a dodge maneuver and then like so look punch dodge and like so she's gonna kind of go back and forth punching and dodging, but it's almost like a dance move where she's like doing it and like her steps are very careful as if you think that there's someone else on the stage with her.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll.
8.
And 8. That one is going to be a failure. Even though that she is quite good at perception, it's not quite enough to carry her to kind of make it through that. So how does she sort of fumble in that routine?
She, while she's dodging, is going to like remember what Zunde like taught her. But she kind of goes into her head a little bit because she remembers a time where like she wasn't good at dodging and she like makes eye contact with Zunde and it throws her off her game. And so she just kind of like isn't in it because she's now in her head about the time that she got yelled at.
Gotcha. Okay. A routine that started strong, had a good sort of middle and faltered a bit at the end, resulting in the similar score as Rolly. So up next we've got the Divine Heart School, and it is Finn who will be performing that. So Ron or Valken, who wants to roll for Finn, who is a young half orc?
Ron's got this.
All right. All right. You sort of know the format by now, and you just let me know what you're rolling. You get your result and tell me what it looks like.
Okay. Finn is going to do an acrobatics.
Okay.
Where he does a series of roundhouse kicks and ends it with like a superhero pose with his fist on the ground.
Gotcha. And I meant to tell you too where others have their sort of strengths and weaknesses. Finn is sort of middle of the road. He's not bad at anything, but he doesn't necessarily excel. So he's like your Mario in Smash Brothers.
Okay. All right.
All right, a little everything.
All right. Then roll the 17.
That is definitely a success, and is performed flawlessly. And sort of the flourish at the ground with the fist hitting has everyone sort of like clapping right at the beginning.
And then from there, he's gonna do a performance where he's gonna use his fist to elevate him to do like a one-arm handstand.
Ooh, all right. Go for it.
Another 17.
All right, and just as you described, he sort of lifts himself up on one arm, sort of it's very impressive. And what's not only impressive is just the amount of strength that it would take to do that, but just like almost how like show offness it is, but it looks super cool. It's on that line of like, you know, being a showboat, but also like super impressive, so you don't seem like a showboat. So awesome. All right, next one.
And then he's gonna use a perception to see a good landing spot as he will push himself off the ground and just like kind of flip in the air to land on his feet.
Yeah, go for it.
The 4.
That one is a failure. So what does that look like?
So Sven's like using his arms to push himself up. He kind of just flops like a plank.
Goes to push and arm sort of gives away and like slips out from the mat, and it doesn't actually push off anywhere, and it's kind of pancakes. All right, next roll.
But Finn is going to use this opportunity to do a performance, to do like a break style dance move to kind of play off his blunder.
I had that in my head too.
Finn's gonna use inspiration.
Okay.
A 12.
A 12 does succeed. So he's able to recover from the earlier blunder. Last one.
All right, and then Finn is gonna do acrobatics. To kind of do like a kip up. So he's gonna like get on his back and then get on his feet and then end with like a fighting pose.
Yeah, go for it.
14.
That is also a success. And nails it perfectly, lands right on their feet, and then ends in sort of their beginning stance to the cheers of the crowd. A routine that had a little bit of a faltering in the middle, but generally very good all around. Very nice. Alrighty. And that is going to leave you, Valk, and you're going to roll for Artin from the Halls of Iron. And Artin is a halfling boy, about the age of like 13 or so.
Okay. And we are using what? Just what's on the dice?
Yep, you just tell me what's on the dice, and then I'll tell you if it succeeds or not.
Okay.
Artin is quite charismatic and quite acrobatic, very dexterous, but is not always as aware as they should be, if that gives you any indication of their skills.
Okay. Given that information, Artin will start off with performance.
Go for it.
And he sort of you see this little guy sort of solemnly, seemingly really focused, walk towards the center of the like area, and then immediately breaks into a flowing sort of almost wushu style routine where it's not so much a combat movement as it is just straight up really stylistic, almost dancing, flowing movement.
Yeah.
So, and that's a 13.
A 13 succeeds. So happens just as described by you.
Okay. For the next time, the next we'll go acrobatics. And so, as he's doing his kind of flowy movements, and he's noticing the crowd is sort of picking up and cheering him, he's gonna do a series of jumps, sort of like almost like butterfly kick style jumps, and going from one corner, running, doing a few more series of the same kind of jumps to the next corner.
Go for it.
It's a 5.
That is a failure. How do they fail?
So his jumps from to the first corner were fine, but as he's trying to pick up speed and do several more jumps, he stumbles a little bit, so the jumps are not as impressive. They're kind of, he's trying to regain himself as he's continuing, and it just doesn't look really pleasing to the eye.
Gotcha. All right, third one.
And I guess the third one is perception.
Could be any combination, but you can only do them maximum twice.
Oh, it's twice. Okay. So we'll go with perception to see if he can maintain himself, but he is kind of feeding off the crowd a little bit. So his next series of moves are a little bit more combat oriented, to where he's starting to throw some strikes and kicks as he moves about the ring, and he's really paying attention to the clapping from the audience. Let's see. he can maintain where he's at. And he rolls a 12.
That was a perception.
Yeah, just to see if he like stays within the bounds of his the area and stuff.
That one is a failure for Arctin.
Okay. So yeah, he's getting kind of lost in the applause and doesn't realize he's sort of stepping out of the ring in some places, and yeah. Well,
All right. The fourth one.
we'll go another performance since that's his strong suit. And like at the beginning, he comes off doing a series of combat movements and works his way back towards the center and does a bit more of that same sort of almost dance-like wushu flowing movement.
Go for it.
It's a 19.
19 is a success. Executed perfectly, just as you had mentioned. It's starting to regain some of their momentum after a couple of mishaps. And the last one for Artin.
We'll go acrobatics again. And he's going to try to do we'll say a series of backflips, and then he wants to land in almost like a I don't know if you've ever seen in martial arts where they'll do a landing but it's like a split leg landing.
Ooh,
He's gonna try to do that. So let's see. 18.
Yeah, so nails it perfectly and kind of finishes strong right at the end, with much to the crowd's applause of nailing those last two in a row after a sort of shaky middle part. So far the tournament is neck and neck with Divine Heart Skull pulling away a little so far. However, up next is Hamas from the Silent Hand. And Hamas appears to be a half-elven sort of teenage boy who makes his way into the sort of middle and sort of very ceremoniously removes the hood and the cloak, and you can see that the inside is lined with that same purple that's on the outside, but not nearly as sort of textured. Neatly folds it and hands it to someone, and you can see that their sort of attire is very much not really akin to what Valken is wearing, like Shoy Lake Academy, but the same vibe where it has a lot of the purples and silvers, sort of a lot of silver filigree adorned, very nice looking attire. And they begin to start their routine. And right off, what's that?
Do their cloaks remind us of something we've seen not in this tournament?
You tell me.
Can I roll for it?
What are you thinking?
Didn't we? There was someone else that had purple lined cloaks before, right? That was the keyword. Was it the cult? It's the assassins, right?
It's purple and silver has been quite the theme when dealing with some of this, any of the salon
So it's
people.
a chance that this is the school where those assassins are like coming from.
Me?
While the tournament's going on, can I point that out to Vin? Maybe she can like eavesdrop on some of the
Who can?
the people in that school.
Mhm.
Vin, you see their cloaks?
Yeah.
You should go like either go like disguise self, you know, like you can do. Maybe you can eavesdrop, see if they're talking about anything important.
Okay. And
Maybe
I
they're
like
from Salon.
I dip into the crowd, and I look like whatever like they look like, and just kind of like stand in the area and like
So
listen.
you look like one of them. Like, describe, like, is it the cloak that you've got? Is like, how are you looking exactly?
Well, like, however their demeanor is, like, if they all have like white hair, I have white hair. Like, if they all have like a certain tattoo, I have that tattoo. Like however they look, I look. But I mean, I can't fabricate my clothes, so my clothes look the same. But like, I don't think my thing works like that. But like I think there's spells that make it work like that, but I don't have that spell.
I guess you could go invisible, but is the crowd really packed?
It's only my invisibility spell is a minute, not 10.
Ooh.
So just to make
Never mind.
you aware, every school that has come to the tournament, they have 6 students and 1 sensei. And so right now the sensei and the 5 other students are watching, and the 6th is in the middle.
Oh, I know. Look like a bum. Nobody ever pays attention to bums.
That's a good idea.
Like an old man bum. Like, remember when Valkan had fake beard and stuff? Like, nobody cares about old men.
Yeah, so then I just kind of look like an old man bum, I suppose, and then just kind of like
Sorry.
sit on the floor.
Last time that didn't work out very good, so but maybe this will work.
Yeah, but the Vidian's like really good at this stuff. You guys are not so much. Bread and brawn.
They're here.
So while you're heading on over there, the Hamas's routine begins, and they start with sort of some very over-exaggerated movements and sort of very slow and methodical, and then with lightning speed sort of turn into a series of quick punches and kicks. And they have used their performance and have succeeded on the first. The second, they are jumping into acrobatics, and on the sort of last kick, they make it a spinning kick. And then from that last spin kick, they use their momentum to do a sort of flurry of spin kicks across the middle there, across the way, succeeding on the second time. Then you have moseyed your way over to sort of where they are watching. And you can see the sensei, her arms are crossed, and she's just whispering to one of the students there, and they're mainly just watching to see how well their other compadre is doing in the middle.
And are they like saying anything like, or is it just all about the tournament and not necessarily like anything of use, I suppose?
So you see Amos, just to your eyes, not being a martial artist, but you see them land this perfect medley of spinning kicks all the way across the middle, and you can sort of pick up on Anelian, their sensei. She just looks over to another one of the students and says, "Sloppy," and just very stoic and sort of just like very much judging them in the ring there. But at this point, there's not a whole lot going on other than them sort of participating in this tournament at this point.
Okay.
But you're more than welcome to keep listening in to see if anything changes. Up next, Amos is going to use perception, and that will succeed as their spin kicks go across sort of the ring, and they stop and sort of stop and then slow spin this last kick, and as their foot is turning, it is like almost up against the line of the ring here, but just enough to where there's no doubt that they stayed inside and made it in that corner on purpose. And then they sort of come across and do the same thing to the next corner, but doing it in reverse and sort of like basically walking the line without ever crossing it. Their third success. And for their fourth, they're going to use performance. And as they finish this, they take a running start and do sort of a run towards like a flying kick. And the flying kick is executed sort of really perfectly. And then they try to do a flourish as they land, and they land it and then stumble at the end, sort of not being able to catch the landing there at the end. And then you see the The students sort of snicker as they see this person mess up, and then Anilian sort of just scoffs and sort of turns around and leaves and stops paying attention to what's happening.
Brutal.
And she makes her way through the crowd, as well as one other student. Hard to tell what they look like as all their hoods are up, but they sort of are leaving sort of the ring in the center. And then last, they're going to be using their acrobatics again, and as they sort of stumble, they catch it, and then as they're sort of off balance backwards, do a series of sort of like back hamstrings, and then land into another sort of a sweeping kick at the end, and they succeed on their last one. So, Vin, is there anything else that you would like to do? Are you going to stay with the students? Are you going to follow anybody else?
I will kind of stay by the students, and just see if like I can hear any information about anything, or just kind of blend in, like not really doing anything.
Yeah, so the crowd applauds. It's a really impressive routine aside from just sort of one minor error here. And as they kind of, bow and make their way over to the rest of the students, one of them slaps them on the shoulder and just says something along the lines, "So much for dominating this tournament, huh?"
They're so mean.
Mm-hmm. And they sort of just kind of hang their head. And it's like, it's all a joke anyway. And I would like Ron, just roll me a d20 real quick.
You got it. 3.
And I rolled a 16, so the Silent Hand is going to be ranked just above the Divine Heart School in the rankings here. And does that change some things up? I need Valken and Bryn and Vin to all roll d20s, and then give me a second and tell me what all you get, because you all scored the exact same.
Let us know when you're ready.
Yeah. So first, Bryn, let me know what you rolled.
17.
Bryn got a 17. Vin
9.
9, and then Valken
15.
All right. So, Rolly takes the third place,
All right. Go, Rolly.
and Balls of Iron takes
Did you
fourth.
say balls of iron?
Halls
Got
of
it.
Iron.
I heard
They're from
balls of
Tamantir.
iron.
And Temple of the Crystal Rose picks up the single point in last place on the home turf there. So the way that it is currently looking now is Silent Hand is in currently first, with Divine Heart School second. Shoy Lake Academy is sitting in third, Halls of Iron fourth, and Temple of the Crystal Rose is sitting in fifth place. So there is some time before the next event, which is the strength and technique event. So if there's anything you all would like to accomplish before then, you certainly can. Or we could jump into the event. It's up to you all.
Falcon's just gonna quickly ask the group, how's everything looking? Nothing out of place so far?
Yeah, and you sort of come over there and you see them all just like really happy and cheering, and like people are like tousling Rolly's hair, and they're like really proud of how he's doing, because a lot of those kids were like older than he was, and he was holding his own, got third place. So everyone seems like really happy with sort of the position that Shoy Lake has taken so far.
Okay.
Oh, that was it's quite invigorating. I wish that we had had a chance to do something like this, Falcon, but it's been so long since they've had a tournament.
Understandable.
You'd think I'd have such a competitive mindset.
What do you mean? I remember quite clearly you having a competitive streak.
Thinking I'm better than you doesn't mean I'm competitive. It's just a fact.
Shit.
Means you're competitive with me, at least.
Suppose so.
Anyway, everybody's fine though. No shitty characters around.
Not that I've seen. The only thing that I have observed is that, well, this silent hand are damn good. Did you see the moves they were doing? It was near flawless.
Hey, they're skilled for sure.
Falcon, I mean, if I were being honest, I would be hard pressed to pull off what they did.
I'll remember that. You claim you're better than me once again.
Well, if I'm better than you, and they're as skilled as I am, then of course they're better than you as well. It's just simple facts.
I guess we'll just have to see later on.
I hope that you are right and I am wrong, because I'm sure we'll need those points when it comes to the weapons event.
Not confident, huh?
I mean, I know that we're not the most well-funded or, the most prestigious school, but I would like to win. I mean, even placing would be fantastic for our school. It would bring a lot of notoriety. It would bring a lot of fame, which of course would bring in benefactors, donors.
I think we can do it.
I do
I
too.
trust in the kids.
You too. I mean, all I've done is taught them what Sensei Gin taught you and I.
Well.
It seemed to be enough for you, and you're some famous adventurer.
Adventure, yes. Famous, not so much.
In time.
We'll see what happens. Who's
will.
up next, by the way? What's next?
The strength and technique
Who's
portion
our,
of events.
who's our participant in this one?
Yexim. And you look over and you see like a young, like 17-year-old like dwarf teenage, sort of big and like burly. And he's like the 17-year-old that already has like a full beard. You know who I'm talking about. Everybody had one of those people growing up.
Ron's gonna slide away and place a little wager with someone on.
Yeah, go for it.
He's gonna wager for Yexim. He's gonna clean house.
All right, so
I'm gonna real quick, Bryn's just gonna, I want to keep it, I saw what Vin's disguise was, so I kind of want to like position myself to keep an eye on her in the crowd. But I'm also going to be like actively perceiving to see if I overhear anything interesting, because we are supposed to be like security detail at this thing. So.
Sorry, Boba. I had to take a drink of it since you brought it.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, so you we'll get to you in a second. So Ron, you can hear people just like people shouting, "Place your bets here!" and like place your bets across, like anywhere you want to find someone to bet some money. It like to them, it's like half the fun is like they're watching people do martial arts stuff and they're betting money and like coins flying all over the place.
Ron's gonna scream out 45 GP.
And they look over and you see a dwarven woman who looks over 25 GP for who?
That one, Sherlock Academy.
To win?
Yes.
I'll take that bet. And they exchange whatever. Being how Emberhelm and of course Ramcrown is that there's a series of like forms they fill out for the bet. As you are acknowledging information of what the bet is, what it is exactly, how much gold is wagered, who the opposing is, and then sort of the over under that thing. It's all like filled out on like a small like pad that everyone seems to have one who's from here. It's like maybe a regular occurrence that when there's a large event and there's going to be betting, it's like they know they have to write some sort of contract, so everyone just has like a small like parchment and they're just filling it out. Right?
And takes out the fun in betting.
Is a lot of paperwork when it comes to Emberholm, as you've seen that as a theme, but it does lay out exactly what happens if and who wins and who loses and how much you get. So, all right, Bryn, as you were sort of you said you were sort of looking around and like keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, just like we're security detail. I'm keeping an eye on the crowd, seeing if anybody's drunk or too rowdy, or if anybody's trying to cheat, or you know.
There's plenty of people that are drunk and rowdy, but it seems like par for the course. Like, even though this is a martial arts tournament, like to some of the folks here, and pardon me, I know very little about this, but it seems like a college football game where half the fun for them is like drinking and betting, and then watching martial arts and stuff. So that's kind of the vibe you get in the crowd.
I enjoy that.
So, as you're sort of walking around, you notice Vin sort of, you saw her disguise and what she looked like as you pass by, and she's next to the students. But as you sort of have a quick count that 2 of them are missing, that there's only 4 there. And Vin, you know
if I do sending, can other people hear me say it? Like I say it out loud, right?
No.
Thought you did with sending.
We can find out real quick.
Yeah. And then to add on to that, I'm guessing I could at least whisper it though.
So sending does have a verbal, a somatic, and a sort of a material
so
component.
Really clear, I'm casting magic in the crowd.
It'll be clear you're casting magic, but the message is heard in their head. So yeah, people will be able to hear what you're saying, and they'll know you're casting magic, essentially.
Wait, is she trying to cast it to me?
Yeah.
Can I see you? Like,
I mean, I've been keeping an eye on you, so
well,
probably.
Like, do we have like a clear line of sight where we can like give each other like winks or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I have message. So.
Is that one different?
Yes. It's better.
Yeah. So message being a
I have message too. We can straight up.
Yeah,
chat.
so message being a cantrip is sort of unique, where sending says that you send a message. We'll have to revisit this later. Where message says that you whisper a message. So even though it has a verbal component, I guess you do your verbal component to start the spell and then whisper into it. But we can discuss this all later. So
well, it's okay if we do some messaging because
sure, go for it.
Whispering.
And I also have subtle, so.
Oh, so you could do yours subtle if you needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finn, where did missing ones go? Did you see them?
Did I see them?
Yeah, you watched them walk off.
I did? I zoned out. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really here. I would have followed them if I remembered that they walked off.
So when he was done, when he messed up, when Hamas messed up, the sensei and one of the others walked away. And then you would stay with the students when I asked you.
If she would have followed them, then you can follow them and Bryn would be following you, and we don't have to do messages yet.
Gotcha.
Ignore messaging. Let's just say that you're following them then.
Well, that's up to Max. Can I follow them? Or
yeah, if you
I
would have
misinterpreted what you had said. I thought you meant like we're getting ready for round 2. Am I staying with the students?
No. So if you'd like to follow them, I need you to make 3 investigation checks for me.
3. Let me grab 3 D20s.
Are you trying to be sneaky as well and not make them not aware that they're being followed?
I'm not very stealthy. I'm just
She
kind
does
of
look like an old man hobo. So.
yeah, I'm just like an old man hobo, like maybe moving around the crowd, trying to like solicit money, you know, but like I'm like kind of following them.
Yeah. So
Like, I
make
just
an
happened-
investigation check. So make one investigation check real quick for me. We'll
So
do one at a time.
don't roll all three.
No.
Okay.
Make
The
one.
first one. Oh, hold on, the dice fell. Let me do that again. Investigation. 15.
Okay. And then make a stealth roll for me. And you can do this with advantage.
With advantage, we have. With advantage, it is a dirty 20.
Okay. So you're making a way through the crowd and you see them sort of make a beeline out of the crowd. And they're sort of walking in the direction like around sort of this open courtyard area.
Yeah. I guess I continue to pursue, but like distanced.
Do another investigation for me.
What do I plus 1? 18.
Yeah. So you still see them as you're just like keeping an eye through the crowd of watching where they go. Make another stealth roll.
Oh wait, is it at advantage?
This one is normal.
This is normal. Okay. That is, what is my stealth? Plus 1, 7.
Gotcha. So you make your way through, and you see where they're headed, and they sort of come around the outside there, and sort of heading towards the back, almost towards where the stage is, where you know the biggest three guild buildings are. And then as you're watching them and trying to keep an eye, because it's pretty crowded, and you're sort of like moving, like think of like Assassin's Creed style, where you're like pushing people apart and like walking through them and stuff. And you see where they're going, and then some person runs into you, and spills their drink all over themselves, and like, "Hey, watch where you're going!" and like shoves you, and some people start yelling and stuff. And you can see that one of the people in the hoods from the assault hand look to see what's going on and spot
like,
some sort of commotion.
Copper for your trouble, copper. And I like have like a can or something, like I guess I'm like peddling monies.
Yep. Make one last investigation roll for me.
Hold on. I have a thing. Let me just read it so I can re-roll. But I just have to call out what it is. Which one is it? Magical guidance, I think. I can spend 1 sorcery point to re-roll the d20.
Then make this one a perception instead of investigation, since you kind of bumped and are trying to figure out like where they are instead of following through them. So it'll be a perception roll instead of investigation.
All right, I'm gonna re-roll. Come on, baby. And then you said perception, so that would be 11.
11. Okay. And you lose sight of where they were, kind of the commotion here, and you knew they were kind of going around, and you're looking and you can't find them. And then you sort of look back, and when you turn a different direction, you see one of them standing in front of you as they doubled back and made their way.
Like in front of me, like they're confronting me, or in front of me, like I just happened to like run into them.
Like they made their way back to you.
On purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled out my can and I'm like, please, sir, have a copper to spare.
And as they see underneath the hood here is sort of a human woman with sort of long blonde hair and like sort of dark brown eyes, and she looks at you and she goes, "Such a shame for someone in need here being bullied by the crowd around them." And they put like a couple copper in your cup. They say, "Come with me, we'll find you somewhere safe and get you something to eat." And they hold out, they like sort of like start leading you back the way you came.
And I'm just like, thank you for your kindness.
And they sort of lead you back towards the outside where you had started, and they sit you down on a bench, and then they find like a drink and then like hand it like to you, and then get you like a plate of food. There, now isn't that better?
And I like have watery eyes, and I'm like, thank you.
Must be careful, there are all sorts out, it seems. And she goes back and joins the rest of the students, and by your count there are 6 students and their sensei is not there, and you've lost her in sort of the commotion in the crowd as this one was sent back to intercept you.
So the sensei isn't the one who helped me, it was a student.
There's 2 of them left together.
But all students are accounted for and sensei is just missing.
Yep.
And I don't know the general direction they went to.
No, it's your stealth kind of got messed up and they bumped into you, and then your perception was low, and then it was a combination of you got noticed because people around you kind of made commotion when they were bumped into you, and then through that commotion you lost where they were, but they saw what was happening and one of them kind of went back, almost to like intercept you and keep you from following them. So you can't tell if they were just being like, if they're like nice people or if it was like on purpose to like divert you away.
Sure. I guess like find a place where no one's around and like change back to Vin, and like throw the food away and go over back to Bryn.
Gotcha. Yep.
And I'm like, Bryn, the sensei's gone, but I don't know where they went. I lost him.
I'm gonna see if I have anything that can like locate people. I don't think I do. Well,
So
we'll just have to keep an eye on them later, I suppose.
So at this point, people have been milling around, getting some food, and then the next event begins. And you see Zunde step up onto the platform and say, now we will be starting the strength and technique portion of the tournament. There'll be one representative from each school. The students will be breaking stone bricks, and they'll be judged on the raw strength and technique used here. For this challenge, the student will select the amount of bricks to break. Of course, each brick increases the difficulty. You only gain points if all bricks are broken. And each student gets 2 tries and takes the best score. And people start getting set up for this portion of the tournament. And the way that it's going to work for our purposes is it's going to be a straight dice roll here. And you can choose how many stone blocks they're going to try and break. Each stone block adds a DC of 2 to your roll. So if you just wanted to break 1 block, you got to roll a 2 or higher. You want to break 15 blocks, you better roll a 15. Because if you roll a 14, doesn't count. Does that kind of make sense? So it's a little bit of a risk reward versus do I go for less blocks and get some points, or go big or go home kind of thing.
All right.
Sounds good.
This one is only going to be 2 rolls. So first up is going to be Yexim from the Shoya Lake Academy, the one that Ron has placed some bets on. Who would like to be Yexim?
I'll roll for you, Exxon.
All right.
See how the student does.
Yeah, so you can choose how many blocks they want to break.
For each singular block, it adds 2.
Exactly.
So if I did like 10 blocks, I would need to roll a 20 or better.
You would have to roll a natural 20.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's do. Um.
Ron just yells, "You can do it!" And Ron uses his last inspiration to motivate Yexim.
So you get an inspiration, you get advantage.
Okay. Let's say.
We're gonna need that in a real fight later, you know.
Let's have him. We'll start off with. So 2 rolls. That means roll 1 for a certain amount, and then I can switch the amount.
Yes.
Okay.
So this first roll, Ron is giving Yexim advantage. So for this first roll, you have advantage.
Let's go for. Let's try to do 7.
7. So you need a 14 or better.
That's right.
All right, roll advantage. Yexim sort of steps up in his sort of burly dwarven form here and is getting ready to break 7 blocks. Quite the impressive first hit, especially being first in the tournament.
Yeah, he's trying to make a statement.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Let's see. Well, the first roll of the advantage roll is 20.
Oh, a natural 20.
Yep.
So describe to me what it looks like when they stack 7 sort of those. It's almost like, think of how they would do in cinder blocks. They're stacking up like just stone blocks here, and they just keep stacking. Like Yexim just keeps saying, "All right, keep going," and then until
he's a
7.
dwarf, right?
Yes.
So would 7 blocks be about his height or higher?
Not quite. I mean, dwarves are like 4.5-ish feet tall. And think of like how if you were doing this, like 1 block would be like right at like your like waist or so. So it's pretty high up, like here.
Okay. So, as they're placing down blocks, Yexim walks up super confident, and as they're placing down blocks, they put one down. He just nods and motions for another one. By the time he gets to 7, he's like, "That's fine." Steps up on a little, it's like a small platform to raise him so he can get leverage, and he does like a focus thing, and then straight from that he raises his hand up and just comes straight down with his fist, and you just see cracked straight down through all 7.
Yeah, the crowd just goes wild, which is like a crazy sort of first hit in the tournament. Yeah, first blow is good. You've got a 7. What do you want the second one to be? You can try for a second. And you know that regardless of what happens, that you're gonna have 7.
Yeah, so since he's kind of set a mark for himself, he's going to he's just gonna add another. He's gonna go 1 more, so he's gonna try to do 8
so
this time.
16. Okay. The single roll for this one.
Yep. No.
Okay.
He rolls pretty low.
Yeah. So he goes for an extra block and kind of gets the feeling that going through 7 probably took the majority of his strength. It's probably a personal best for him. He was feeling a little, frisky and wanted to kind of show off a bit and kind of get ahead, and can't make it through the 8 immediately after that. But as a 7, very, very impressive, especially for the beginning. All right.
As he's walking off, Valken just kind of gives him a thumbs up.
Nice.
Good job, Yexim. Very proud.
Yeah, and he's just like looks like super like happy, and like the rest of the group is like are cheering and like hugging him and stuff, and are super supportive of him. All right. Up next is going to be Arius from the Temple of the Crystal Rose. She is a sort of a deep red tiefling who would like to be Arius.
I can.
All right. Same thing. Go ahead and roll a D, or tell me how many blocks you want.
Wait, can you repeat the rules again? I forgot. Like the block thing.
Mhm.
I don't know what you're saying.
You choose the amount of blocks you want to break through.
Oh, okay.
Each block adds 2 to the roll needed. So if you only put 1 block, you'd have to roll a 2 or better. If you put like 5 blocks, you have to roll a 10 or better. So it's times 2 essentially. If you put 10 blocks up, you got to get a natural 20 for it to work. And you only get points if you break them all. If you put 8 blocks up and don't break all the way through them, you don't get any points.
And I don't get to use like Vin's stuff to
No,
help the roll.
no, this one is Arius. If Vin wants to cast things on this person to help out this dojo, then you could.
I feel like that's cheating.
I
don't want to dishonor the dojo.
But you get 2 tries. So tell me how many blocks you want for the first one, and then we can go with the second one after that.
I'll go with 4 for the first one.
All right, for 4. So they stack up 4 blocks, and go ahead and roll your d20. You need an 8.
7. Darn it.
7. Okay. So they go and they break through the first 3, and the 4th crack, so it doesn't make it all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one.
Angry. She's gonna go for 5.
Go for 5. All right, so you need a 10.
17, baby.
17. All right, so on that one, they stack up another block as Arius looks sort of like quite angry. And then tell me what it looks like when she breaks through all 5 of them.
She goes like her feet are like wide and her arm goes up and she goes hi-ya! And like breaks it in like a swift like one, like as if it was butter, and you just hear like sound.
Yeah, and they just all break through immediately, and the crowd sort of cheers with a respectable score currently just behind the academy. So good job.
And she bows.
Up next is Wool from the Divine Heart School, and Wool is a gnome.
Ooh.
Little gnome
I wanna be a
child,
gnome.
boy.
Can I be a gnome boy?
Yeah.
All right. He's a gnome, so he's not gonna. We're gonna be realistic. I'm gonna do like 5.
5, okay. Go ahead and make your roll as they stack up 5
Do I have
bricks
to
in front
roll
of this
to
gnome.
beat 5?
To beat 5, you have to roll a 10 or better.
Okay. I can do this. Come on. Nope. I rolled a 7.
Oh, so same.
That's
Wool
not
tries to
good.
get through and can't get all the way through that 5th one. What do they want to do
tried.
for the next one?
A second chance.
You got a second chance? Okay.
You can choose to just stay at 5, go higher or lower.
I'm not going lower.
Okay. You gonna stay at 5?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to roll a 10 or better.
19.
19. Wool kind of composes himself and then gets through with the brand new 5 blocks and gets all the way through. So 5.
Yeah.
All right, Ron. Halls of Iron, you are going to be Oli, who is other dwarven little teenage boy. So
Alright.
let me know what you would like Oli to do.
Wooly wants to one up the academy. Gonna try to do 8.
Okay.
What's their placement in the ranking?
Well, let's take a look at the screen here. The Halls of Iron are second to last with 2
Alright.
points.
All right, he needs this for his team.
Okay.
Going for the 8.
Needs a 16.
19.
A 19. Okay, so Oli walks up to the platform, tells him to keep piling on these bricks, and what does it look like as he goes through these?
closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and then does 3 practice runs where just like deep breathing and exhaling on top of the bricks 2 third times, and then on the 4th try he just leaps in the air and just hammers down.
Yeah, it just breaks them all the way through. Easy.
Nice.
All right, next try.
Just gonna do all 10.
Okay, go for 10. Gotta roll a natural
Going
20.
for 10. Got 2.
Oh, yeah, so 10's a little much.
Aw.
Breaks through a couple and realizes it was a little more than he could do, but he was going for the risk because he already had 8. Okay. Up last is Bendariel. And she is a human woman, and she 2 + 0 = 20. She walks up and just same thing, almost ceremoniously takes off her cloak, her hooded cloak, and hands it to one of the team members. And the way their geese are sort of styled are like sleeveless, of course, with sort of that purple and silver all over. And she sort of looks and has them pile on 7 to begin with. So they pile on 7, and she sort of takes a deep breath and puts her hand on the top block. Rolled a 19. So she puts her hand on the block, and instead of rearing up and going into it, she puts her fingers flat and punches from her fingers.
Ooh.
And with that, cracks all the way through all
Jeez.
7 bricks on the first shot, putting them tied with 2nd place.
That pie mate training.
Amazing.
And she sort of looks and then has him stack 8 to try again. And here does the same thing and rears up and then hits, but does not make it all the way through all 8 and stays at 7. So, Valken, I need you to roll a d20 for me.
Make it good.
Let's see.
I rolled a natural 20, so
Oh shit.
Wow.
Aw, man.
I didn't get that, so.
okay.
I didn't get that.
Sorry, buddy. All right,
Don't
and
apologize
then
to me. Apologize to Yexa.
Bryn and Vin roll a d20 for me.
6.
Uh-huh.
17.
17. So Crystal Rose is going to be ahead on that one. As we tally the scores here, that puts the Silent Hand is going to get 9. And then they were 2nd place. So 1st place is Halls of Iron. They are going to be at 10. And no, not 10, sorry. 7, so 5 and 2. And then 3rd place goes to Shoya Lake with 3 more points, so they're going to be at 6. I'll put the scores up here in a second, just got to math through them. And then 4th is Crystal Rose, so they're going to get 2 points. And then last is going to be the Divine Heart School with 1 point. And that is really going to shake up the standings. It's still early on here. However, I will show the results in just a moment here. Sure that I got them correct here last time. There we go. I promise I can math. Sometimes. Okay. So currently, look as the Silent Hand is gonna have 9. Halls of Iron is gonna have 7, thanks to Oli from propelling them up pretty high. Shoya Lake is still in 3rd, Divine Heart's 4th, and Temple the Crystal Rose is 5th. So, that concludes the first of the tournament festivities for the current day, which is the first day of Undecim, with the rest of the tournament happening the following day. And just for a little sneak peek here, next is the hand-to-hand the following day, 1 representative from each school, and it's going to be tournament style, where the home team, the Temple of the Crystal Rose, is going to have a bye, and whoever comes out on top gets first, and so on and so forth based on the rankings there. After that is going to be the weapons event, which is also going to be tournament style. However, each team has 2 entries, and it's also going to be... What's that?
That's what Valkan's doing.
Valkan is doing it, and it actually looks like this little bracket that we have here on the stream there. So that's how it all is going to work out.
Oh.
So there are some teams in the beginning that have to, just based on the number of attendees there, and then it will kind of go through, and whoever comes out in the winner is the one who get the top points, which reminds you that weapons is the one that gains the most points out of all the events.
Really?
Movement and strength are both.
It's all on you, Valkan.
First place is 5 points. Hand to hand, first place is 7, and then weapons first place is 8. So still anyone's tournament. So we will see that next time, not next week, but the week after. So the week of the 29th, I do believe. So that is going to be it for this evening. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all had fun for the first part of the tournament. Hope it was interactive enough for you all as players, because I didn't want you to just kind of stand around and just watch things happen.
Yeah.
I don't really want you to sit around.
Did
I'm just
Ron
mad that
win or
one
lose?
person snuck away.
Oh
yeah,
so,
did you get money?
Ron didn't ask who she was betting on.
In true Ron fashion.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I believe you had bet on Oli to win, but I guess we didn't choose on what they were going to bet against. So there's only 4 other people she could have bet on, right? So I'll just roll a d4. If it's a 1, it was Arius. If it was a 2, it was Wool. A 3, it was Oli. Or a 4, it was Bendariel.
All right, not a 3.
It was a 4, and that was Bendariel. So Bendariel did score higher than Yexum, so Ron did lose, but barely. His Yexum got 7, and Bendariel also got 7, but they ranked higher.
Okay.
You were close.
It was so
Oh well,
close.
better luck next time, Ron.
Yeah, you were close. Anyway, thanks so much for watching tonight. Hope you all had fun. Next time we'll have some more tournament fun times and maybe some other shenanigans. But before we end tonight, we can do some shout outs, and we'll start with Mac and Cheese, please.
I am here existing. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. To be honest, I might stream on Sunday. I might not stream on Sunday. I stream at different times. It's all over the place. So don't go to me. Go to someone else. I make Minecraft content on YouTube. That's me. All right, bye.
I did it. Inspiration poll now. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mac. You should still go watch your Minecraft content.
Just
do it.
It's for children. Don't judge me, please. It's literally for like 10-year-olds.
I watch it too. That means I guess I'm a children. So
But do you make fart jokes in Minecraft?
who doesn't? All right. Up next is Virtual Spectre, who is unknown whether he makes fart jokes or not, but I'm sure he'll tell us.
No, my content is probably not child safe, just because it's hard to filter myself sometimes when I'm playing video games. But yeah. So my name is Virtual Spectre. I stream on Twitch as well, and we've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Rise lately. But I think tomorrow I'm gonna start a game that's not new, but it's new to me. So that'll be fun. If you want to check it out, join me on my channel. Thanks.
Yay. Up next, Bunny Dreadful.
Hi, I'm sweating to death in the heat of the desert. I'm also in the process of moving, so my streams are kind of non-existent right now, but we'll get back to it as soon as we can. I've just been doing a little bit of, I've been playing with other streamers on their streams. So I'm just going to, for my promo, I'm going to say go follow GGN Crew because I've been playing Minecraft over there for community night on Wednesdays. If you want to hear me screaming as I try to pretend like I'm helping them kill the bosses, you can find me over there right now. But hopefully I'll be back to doing some art soon.
Yay. Last but not least, Moves Like Jagger from the GGN Crew.
Hello. Hi, it's me, Moobs. We got a lot going on next week. If you're a fan of Grounded, our 2nd year anniversary stream for Grounded the game over on the Obsidian Twitch channel from 1 to 4 if you want to stop on by. And then it's a pretty light week for us because the whole team will be at San Diego Comic-Con, and we have a Grounded booth in the interactive zone outside. So no badge required. If you want to come on down to San Diego Comic-Con, we'll be there. Tuesday, 1 to 4 Pacific Standard Time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I can't believe it's been 2 years.
It's crazy, yeah. And we're coming.
Awesome
the game's
game.
coming out 1.0 in September, so
Ooh.
could be a great time.
Very nice. I'm excited. It'll be super
That'd be
fun.
cool.
I remember the days, the Grounded days, when I was a real streamer. Falcon taking inspiration. What'd you say, Mac?
I want to play Grounded. I've been
You
meaning
have to play
to.
it. It's so good.
Let's do it.
It's awesome.
Can we do like a fun Casters and Cantrips play Grounded sitch? Is it a 5-player game?
It's a
So
4-player
four-player.
game, but I'm
Oh.
gone for like 3 weeks, so
I'm down. I've been meaning to try and get back into it and see what
I'd
all
be
has been
down.
updated. You know.
That could be
Be down.
so
We'll talk after this.
fun.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Mhm.
I like friends.
Little bonus
friends.
content.
Oil.
Yeah, and then we can play Moves' game when he can't see it.
yeah.
Anyway, hey, I'm Max. This is my channel, and we do D&D, and I like it. I hope you enjoyed the session tonight. Just let me know how you think it is. You know, I'm always open for suggestions. If something sucks, just let me know, and maybe we'll change it. Maybe I won't care and won't listen to you. But I just hope you enjoy it. I have fun running the game. I think I have a great group of players. For sure, if you haven't looked, go to castersandcantrips.com. That is our website. We have merch there. We have links to Patreon. We have links to Twitter and all that stuff. So every little bit helps. Our little D&D channel, because I want to keep making or having awesome maps and cool music. And we got to pay our artists. So any bit that helps us helps them too. So thank you all for watching. We will not see you next week, so don't be here, but we'll be here the next week after that. So I believe that's the 29th is the right numbers. So
I don't know about days and time and space and life.
yeah, be here in 2 weeks and to see the
Yeah.
end of the martial arts tournament. How about that? All right, thanks so much, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.